In the heart of the city, there's a lady so divine, with a gift so rare she can read between the lines, unlocking mysteries. She's the one we all admire. With a touch of magic, she sets our souls on fire. From psychic readings to rosemary oil so pure, her spirit shines bright. Of that I am sure. On TV she graces the screen with grace. Her presence is a blessing in every time and place. Pop culture psychic, in tune with the stars. She sees beyond the veil, even beyond Mars. And when the night falls, Tracy after dark, her wisdom illuminates like a powerful spark. So if you seek guidance, look no further than her door. Tracy Brown live where wisdom does soar. Through the realms of the unseen, she'll light your way. With every word she speaks, darkness turns to day. Tracy Brown live, the beacon of light, guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody, so pure and strong. In her presence, we know we belong. From psychic readings to rosemary oil so pure, her spirit shines bright. Of that I am sure. On TV, she graces the screen with grace. Her presence is a blessing in every time and place. Pop culture psychic, in tune with the stars. She sees beyond the veil, even beyond Mars. And when the night falls, Tracy after dark, her wisdom illuminates like a powerful spark. So if you seek guidance, look no further than her door. Tracy Brown live where wisdom does soar. Through the realms of the unseen, she'll light your way. With every word she speaks, darkness turns to day. Tracy Brown live, the beacon of light, guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody, so pure and strong. In her presence, we know we belong. Tracy Brown live, the beacon of light, guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody, so pure and strong. In her presence, we know we belong.
Hi, everyone. How are you today? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are doing Spirituality Sunday, and I wanted to let you all know that, as you should know by now, that this is a Leo full moon. I think it's a Leo full moon or new moon. I forget. Hold on. I just check with Molly. I trust Molly. Why is this not working? Oh. All right, let's take a look. Leo moon, February 1st, 2026. It's a Leo full moon. Leo full moon. And if I'm not mistaken, sometimes I get a little confused. Full moons are for waning energy, which means this is the time to get rid of stuff, right? and work on releasing, right? I don't have time for that. Leos don't have time for that. Unless you're trying to get rid of your husband, then I would say do the moon or your wife. Like, but, and I mean get rid of in a way of like divorce, not like unalive. Don't do that. That's not good luck for anybody. Um, Anywho, I was gonna do my candle magic before I think it's 5:49 p.m. And then I decided I have nothing to release. I don't have addictions. I am working on my diet right now and what I eat. So I don't need to like go through this whole ritual. I don't want to eat chocolate anymore. I will eat chocolate in moderation. I'm not in a relationship, thank God. I'm not in a relationship. I don't. I'm not looking forward to being in a relationship anymore. But in any case, it's getting all personal now, right? Oh, my back hurts. Um, so I think the moon turns at 5:49, and it will be at its fullest at that hour. But I've decided, so at 5:49, which I'm not sure of the correct time, at 5:49, it's the Leo full moon. At 5:50, it now changes immediately to going into the new moon, but it's still under Leo. So, new moon brings in, full moon brings out, if I'm not mistaken. I'll check it to make sure. But I've decided to do my magic, candle magic, after the waxing, the waning ends. I'd rather it. Let me see. I've learned all of this. I'm just in forgetful mode now. Don't think I haven't learned all of this. It's just I can't remember shit anymore. Um, Hold on, guys. Oh, 5:08 p.m. Even better. I don't have to wait 45 more minutes. It says the waning begins on February 2nd. Most that is. So we're at waxing. Hold on. I need to make sure. I'm sorry, I'm involving you guys. All right. I'm too tired to figure it out, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. I have another hour because it's only 3:54 right now, so I'm not going to worry about it. Let's get on to class, but let me say hello to everyone. Someone's trying to help me. Okay, hold on. Good health, Tracy in chat. Hope. Oh, look at that. I like that better. Hope you are staying warm. It's 50 degrees in Miami. You did not ask if I was staying warm. I'm in the Caribbean, although there is a chill coming through, but it's still not going to hit St. Croix. You guys are cold in all the 50 states practically. I'm so sorry you guys are so cold. I hope you have coats and stuff. Good afternoon, Incognito. I have my notebook ready to take notes, right? Hi, Carlito. How are you? Oh, yes, it's a Leo full moon tonight. It peaks at 5:30, I believe. I'm getting different answers. I actually heard 5:49 and this thing. I'm going to find out by Molly McCord because she gives me the most accurate information. If it's 5:30, that would be great. Happy Black History Month. Oh, I always forget that because it's the shortest month. But thank you. You gotta. Usually during Black History Month on IG, I will post inventors, Black inventors. So I invite you to do the same. We all should be posting all the same stuff for Black History Month. All right. Oh, new comment. Hold on. Hi, Miriam. It's waxing now. It will be waning after a peak, so it's waxing now. Okay, so that means I got to do it before. Thank you. Um, the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot. This was a gift, and it came with a note that said, "Hi, Tracy. Hope you enjoy the deck. A little too advanced for me." But then I looked at it and I was like, girl, bitch, it's too advanced for me. So I spoke to Spirit and I said, what's the best way to do this? Like how do you want me to handle this? And he said, just put it on YouTube. And I was like, well, you know how much I love YouTube. So I'm not necessarily gonna go over the deck. They're very, very, very different. Very different. But I'm gonna love it. Very different, very cultural. Feels very Haitian, but you guys do know that Haiti and New Orleans have a direct connection, right? The French had Louisiana, which is why they had the Louisiana Purchase. When France started to go broke, they sold Louisiana to the United States. And then, oh, Marie Laveau is here, though. Don't you just love that? Azon. Azon's here. I didn't know New Orleans had Azon as a goddess. That's the name of my hair growth company. You can see it right there. See? Ayizan. That's the name of my hair growth company. That's validation. All right. A lot of people that I don't know. A lot. This is very much mixed in because Azon I got from Haitian deities. So, where do we begin? Oh, Aleister Crowley. Okay. I'm gonna read and then we'll try and jump around, but I want to be really respectful of what I'm reading. To like it's so new. Let me see. Ada. Happy Sunday, right? All right. So let's take a look. Ernie Cadle, DOH, a noted New Orleans R&B singer, once said, "I'm not sure, but I'm almost positive that all music came from New Orleans. I also cannot say for sure that voodoo began in New Orleans, but I can say that more than any other city, New Orleans has influenced the development of voodoo and fetid spirits. In Haiti, it is common to speak of serving the spirits. The term voodoo is used to describe one type of rite and a particular dance, not the religious system as a whole. The use of voodoo is to describe the whole of this religious system that probably originated in New Orleans. Through the likes of Marie Laveau, the original Dr. John, didn't you guys, wasn't there a Dr. John cough syrup? And other famous voodooists, voodoo grew to encompass more of the spirit, so that now New Orleans is associated more closely with the practice of voodoo than any other city. Voodoo is syncretic merging of African American, Native American, European beliefs and practices brought together by the early enslaved Black population in order to feed the Loa and survive. The Loa are spirits, that is, sentient spiritual beings who travel the Middle Passage with captured Africans and have taken firm root in the New World soil. Voodoo and the Loa are always evolving. They manifest themselves in different ways, in different cultures, and different geographic areas. There is no right, there is no wrong way to practice voodoo. But there are ways that are more successful than others. This deck represents one successful way. Now, it's very important when they say the African spirits traveled here. I wholeheartedly believe all of that because there are so many things that Africans do that Americans do, and we never met. There are so many things. And what was carried over, although Americans love to exaggerate, so if Africans have certain dance movements, Americans have the same dance movements just with more flair. Still the same. So Carlito says, "Oh my God, I brought the same deck about a year ago and didn't know why. Oh, time to study. Just stood out, so I had to purchase it. I forgot that I had it until you showed it to us. Oh, we're going to learn this deck together. All right. There's an old story of two experts on Neo African religion attending a voodoo ceremony and not all realizing what they are witnessing is a service for the Loa, the spirits of voodoo. And I just want to remind you that feed your own spirits, whether you have an altar or not. put out some food for your family members that have passed on. When Tony passed, oh, I really should do it again. I wish I would have thought about it, but I could do it tomorrow. She loves Fanta orange juice. And that was one of the first things I gave her on my altar for about 2 weeks. This story points to a truth and a problem in speaking or writing about voodoo. The truth is that voodoo is always evolving. It has a ferocious appetite when it comes to other religions. Much like its sacred snake, it swallows other systems of religion, thought, and practice whole. It's interesting how strong the voodoo is that it can swallow up someone else's main religion. Voodoo use of Roman Catholic imagery and ritual is also very well known, but this is only one example of the ability of voodoo to enhance its liturgy through contact with other religious systems. One form of voodoo takes on distinct East Asian religious characteristics, while another form posts Karl Marx as a candidate for Loa. Are these people white or black? Let me see something. I just feel, sometimes I feel a little better when people are black. Because there are certain keywords that they keep using that feels unblack to me. Definitely white, but all right. Yeah, definitely white. Interesting. Hmm. All right. Definitely white. I don't have a picture of Louis Martini, but Sally is definitely white. She also looks like she could be mixed, though, which I would love if she was mixed. She's white and Jewish. Okay, so now we're getting much more clarity. Has no ancestry connection to voodoo. Now, the reason why I brought that up, because just in reading this, she a couple of times she talked about the Roman Catholic Church, but not in a way I would expect, although it just started. But she also brought up European influence, which could be the French. So I'm trying to be fair to her, but it was just certain words that was like, she's not 100% black. I'm not mad at you for not being 100% black. So carry on. Hi, Stella. The problem is, how does one know what is or is not voodoo? That's an interesting question in a port city such as New Orleans, where many diverse cultural and religious elements come together without losing their unique identities. According to Rose, priestess of the Palo Maombi religion, members of seven different African tribes were brought as slaves to New Orleans. Each tribe brought its own tradition and rites of worship. The form of voodoo now practiced in New Orleans is the result of the mingling of these traditions. Voodoo takes on a form specific to place and time. The voodoo of New Orleans is not the voodoo of Port-au-Prince in Haiti. That is very true. The voodoo practice in New Orleans now is not the voodoo practice in New Orleans in the 18th century. 1700s. The Loa of voodoo speaks directly to the lives of its practitioners. The Loa are in an intimate dance with devotees. When conditions change, the Loa change form, not essence, in order to better meet the new physical and spiritual needs of the congregation in front of them. With voodoo, there is no central force that defines orthodox. Each voodoo temple is a law on itself, although there are certain elements that tend to mold or shape voodoo in general. First and foremost, there is success. If a ritual technique works, it will spread. Tradition always has its say. If a practice has been used over a long period of time, then it has probably demonstrated value. The ability to communicate the nature of the law, to open up the connection between other people and the law, can be a strong factor. Milo Regard, a writer and practitioner, is probably the most widely accepted authority. Lastly, there are widely known organizations such as the Technician of the Sacred, the International Religious and Magical Order of Society, La Couvrière Noire, and the Ordo Templi Orientis Antiqua that through journals and contacts help to spread ideas and shape voodoo practice. Santeria, like voodoo, is an earth related religion that makes much use of herbs and sacred stones. However, Santeria is not voodoo, and voodoo is not Santeria. The two religions have a distinct thrust. The Loa of voodoo and the Orisha of Santeria are not interchangeable. Interesting. An example of this are the guardians of entrances, Legba and Ilegua. Legba of voodoo is the powerful elder, while Ilegua of Santeria is an equally powerful childlike saint or spirit. My experience with voodoo points to a number of elements of divine services as voodoo. A voodoo ceremony will serve the Marasa, the dead, and one or more of the Loa. Legba will be called to open the door to the world of the invisible. These spirits and forces are described in the content of the Voodoo Tarot. Sacrifice, be it animal, vegetable, mineral, liquid, or subtle giving of the priest or priestess energy, is part of everyday voodoo ceremony. To sacrifice is literally to make sacrifice. The Loa need food much in the way the living voodooist does. If, for instance, a cake is offered to Ezraline and the rite does not involve possession by her, she may only eat the cake, leaving the physical form for the voodooist or to be given to the poor. Some form of possession will be present, either full or partial. The Loa come into the world through members of their congregation. Possession ranges from the total possession common in Haiti to milder forms where the Loa speak direct through a person. Now, I have to be honest with you. I'm not confident I would want Aloha to come through me to speak. I only say that because it can deplete your energy, and I prefer to be awake and alive in my own temple. So I've only had um, possession once or twice. Once it was my mother who was dying for butter pecan ice cream, and I ate it for about 3 days before finally I realized what was happening. And I was like, Mom, you can't do this anymore. You cannot. Like, I don't care what you need. No, it's not allowed, and you need my permission. So stay close to me, talk to me, do not enter. And another time it was my dad, but I kind of forgot what he needed, but I saw it right away. Um, and then I equally told him, this will be your last time. Some forms of possession will be present, either full or partial. The Loa come into the world through members of their congregation. Possession ranges from the total possession common in Haiti to milder forms where the Loa speak or speak through a person. The voodooist will always remind the congregation of the culture it is in debt to, either with a reference to Guinea, the holy land of the Loa, or to the African roots of humanity, in particular, Black people. The type of beings that we are seem to have found origin in the African continent. Um, and voodoo songs and chants will often speak of returning there. I didn't know that. A voodooist generally possesses several qualities, the essence of which is embodied in the saying, the soul is only sure when it sings. The melody of the song is as old as Mississippi, and the voodooist has a deep respect for tradition that helped the melody to survive so long. So, song makes a big difference. The words flowing from the melody can be as new and creative as the Aquarium of the Americas located on Mississippi Bank. This is not a contradiction, only growth and thoughtful change. It's I don't know how to say this word. It's an important quality of the voodooist. It describes a deep knowing and a deep faith in the spirits. Renaissance, connaissance. It is the surety of the soul, the positive knowledge that the Loa will supply what is needed to those who honor them. It is a bridge between knowledge and intuition, an opening through which the Loa speak, a grasp of the wild, untamed sense of things. I was privileged to know an elder named Joshua Frank, his soul sang with surety, brilliant to behold throughout his long life. With its ups and downs, it demonstrated one quality is foremost in the voodooist. He was a survivor. He took the worst part of that life and the dominant culture could give him and fashioned a creative and sustaining voodoo philosophy and worldview. Honor to him who has been so much. He now finds a place with the ancestors. For me, these basic elements give some shape to what I call voodoo. Each practitioner of voodoo will use the elements different, will develop a unique relationship to the Loa. The important thing is to not let the parameters of voodoo become so solid that they become unresponsive to subtle molding. When did she write this? Because she didn't give credit to Africa. 1992. Maybe she was not aware that voodoo was created in Benin. So, I mean, I think that's where sometimes there's mistakes. when, please respect what I'm trying to say, when white people invest in our culture and don't fully grasp like everything. And so it's very important for you all to know that Benin is where voodoo came from. And maybe next week we will talk about that just to take away from the fact that she didn't mention that. The role of sacrifice in voodoo. The act of sacrifice is integral to the practice of voodoo. It creates a link between the Loa and the voodooist, a link that reaches through the waters, under the earth, to the very heart of Guinea. As we are in community, each dependent on the other, so we do stand in relationship to the Loa. One does not take without giving, one does not give without taking. In all exchanges, there is reciprocity, and it's all beneficial. The section provides a contents. This section provides the contents for sacrifices indicated by the 22 roads, the major arcana, and sacrifices for the spirits of the vessels. A road, an individual can sacrifice for many reasons. In terms of this deck, sacrifice to the Loa or Orisha, or process represented by a particular card, is called for if, within the context of a reading, that card occupies the position of an obstacle, occupies the position of a particular strong point you wish to further strengthen, occupies the position of a weak point you wish to strengthen, shows that a particular Loa or Orisha wishes to be fed. The section on readings give examples of particular layouts for the cards which can indicate these conditions. It is not important what is given as how it is given. I think both are important. I think once we start getting into the rules, then sometimes we can lose the flavor of bringing the practice to you. And since most of us are so far removed from any originality or knowing people from any original point of education, they're always going to forgive us for our lack of knowledge. So nothing has to be perfect. And you must remember that. In order for voodoo to be remembered from Africa, everything had to change. So as you're learning from a new perspective, it's okay if everything is not perfect. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Noel. It is not important what is given as how it is given. We give what we can and in return receive immeasurable grace. In Haiti, the appetites of the Loa are well defined. Foods and manner of presentation are very exact. In their migration to New Orleans, the Loa seem to have acquired a more Catholic appetite. With the bitter love for the Loa as a source, a wide range of sacrifices is acceptable. As Okuku, a voodoo practitioner and theorist, would say, even small efforts are greatly rewarded. So if your grandma liked those funny candies that were wrapped, find those candies and leave it for her. As an example, if your grandpa liked cigars, go get a cigar. You don't have to light it, but just let them know this is for you. These things haven't been stated. Let us build a spirit house, an eternal place within our hearts and souls from which to offer the external forms of sacrifice. The word sacrifice is taken from Latin sacred, and farcery to make. To sacrifice is to make sacred. This is an extremely important point and forms the foundation of the spirit house in which we will make sacrifice. That which is sacrificed is catapulted into the realm of the sacred, the duality of sacred as opposed to mundane. Underlying this statement does not indicate a hierarchy of relationships. Sacredness is a state that appends itself to the object of the world. To deal in the mundane is to invite the influx of the sacred. In turn, in all that is sacred, there is a yearning for the touch of the mundane. I thought mundane was boring. The path that is sacred and the mundane circles in upon itself, forming a Gordian knot that mocks the name or separation of it to strands. Perhaps sacrifice, more than any other spiritual exercise, defines our Western culture's fall from grace. The common understanding is made sacred to sacrifice. It is lost to us. The sense of loss defines our position where we stand in relationship to that which is sacred. It is as if we habitually stand outside the circle of the sacred. However, sacrifice need not connote separation. That which is given flares on the horizon, providing light for all. If fires feed on both the sacred and the mundane, in the heart of the flame, the world burns. In the dancing tips of the flame, the spirit knows its true measure. Its memorial essence is given full range. All the sacrifices listed for the roads are manji sek, dry meal, or without blood. This was done for a number of reasons, primarily the nature of society in which we live. In general, we do not slaughter our own food. This, some believe, creates an unnatural situation where the shedding of blood takes on foreign and unnecessary morbid implications. Life evolves upon life. This obvious natural law seems to have become a secret hid with the butcher's shrink wrap. If you do not kill the animal you eat, it is best to even consider the taking. No, it is best not to consider. Okay, I'm going to skip the whole animal sacrifice. All of us have ancestors at one point back in the day that offered animals in sacrifice. And I can guarantee you that what she is saying is that the sacrifice of the animal actually meant a sacrifice and then was used for dinner. Basically, that's what she's saying. All right, let's move on. If you are a vegetarian, offer vegetables. If you're a fruitarian, offer fruits. The lower does not necessarily share your appetites, but there is a point in which your spirit will embrace that of the lower. If the means of your sacrifice are repugnant to you, your distaste will surely taint that which is given. Let's be really careful when we talk about sacrifices, but remember, we're new age and we're going to do the best we can. I thought she was going to say something else like sacrificing, like modern day sacrifices to me would be like giving up social media because all the spirits are in social media now. So I would say, and this is the reason, this was built in 1992 and things have so evolved in all of these years. So I would not embrace the way she is saying it. She's saying a couple of things that falls on religion now, which is the reason why I was asking her race. Money is greatly cherished if that which is sacrificed is held in high esteem. Money. Great power will flow through the act. To sacrifice an amount of money to a loa and then distribute the money to a poor is an excellent sacrifice. That I do not agree with. And let me apologize. I'm going to be very open about how I feel. This type of sacrifice, believing that money has that much power, it does. But it also brings me back to the crooked churches and the crooked pastors that believe that your money is so powerful that they want you to give all your money. So I'm not in full agreement that giving money to your loa and then using the money to give to the poor, I think it's unrealistic in an era where everybody's broke and many people that don't have jobs. Okay. To conclude, here are a few points from my experience sacrificing to the loa. The laws always elicit a sacrifice, whether we choose its object or not. One reason to consciously offer sacrifice is to be in a position of choosing what is sacrifice. It makes no sense to lose three cymbals from a trap drum set when three pieces of brass consciously offered could be sacrificed. If you have sufficient power or cognizance, the sacrifice will come to you and make itself known. In many cases, fruits and vegetables are appropriate for sacrifice and have a way of showing up when I need them. Again, I'm going to say um, it could be as small as fruit and vegetables, or it could be as big as social media, talking on the phone, talking about people, right? Like going to work and but you have to know yourself and be like, oh my God, today I'm going to sacrifice and I'm not going to talk so much today. There are all kinds of ways to sacrifice. So just contact me if you would, because I'm not in agreement with the whole animal sacrifice or blood sacrifice. I think those traditions may have died a long time ago. I'm not saying that there aren't practices that still do it. I'm pretty confident they do it in Haiti. That's why Ray J said he's going to Haiti. And I'm pretty confident in quiet corners of New Orleans, there are people still doing some crazy ass sacrifices with goat's blood or pig's blood or whatever. Um, I don't find it necessary. I think you and your Loa can come to an agreement that this is what I would like to do. And because you're making a sacrifice of the very thing that is so powerful to you, imagine if you made a sacrifice online and stayed off it for 24 hours, stayed off it for 48 hours. Could you handle that? I also want to say that if you make a sacrifice and you fail, it's okay to fail. Anything new is such a stretch. Like, as of recently, which is so, I'm not even making a sacrifice. I wish I would have thought about it. But as of recently, I am not on my social media for 4 days in a row. Um, I'll take a break and I'll see what's going on, but I'm not influenced by it. Whereas a month ago, I would have been on it more than 100%. So I can tell you, like, just in myself, you can sacrifice something like social media, which is a very, very powerful tool, just as good as money. All right. So she keeps talking about money, but this is an old fashioned belief system, and I'm not a fan of making you all believe that money should be your biggest sacrifice. But she is saying if you want to make a sacrifice, the spirit will talk to you, the Lord will talk to you. And in my case, she said fruits and vegetables are appropriate for sacrifice, have a way of showing up when I need them. The lower and our species walk hand in hand. As we change and evolve, so the lower, there may come a time when we live on nothing but light. That would be nice. I would not be a bit surprised if the lower should follow suit. They will. And this is how you know that someone's not fully in the spiritual world, because she doubts that they would follow. If they came from Africa with us, why wouldn't they find us in another portal? Come through the portal. If not, they're the ones that's going to go, come. This is the portal you need to come through. There may come a time when you live on nothing but light. To sacrifice is create a channel cut deep into the earth, through which benefit flows both ways. To sacrifice is to give freely to the sacred, to move one's intentions from acquisition to open handed giving. Nature is said to abhor a vacuum. Once the hand that gives is empty, it will soon be filled with the particular grace of the Lord. These are the planks I recommend you use to build the spirit house to make sacrifices. The table that follows suggests appropriate objects for sacrifices to Loa, Orisha, and possess processes represented by the cards of the 22 robes and vessels. Trust your intuition. The Loa will tell you what they want. If you feel uncomfortable or sense even a hint of coercion, give thanks. Close the reading. The further guidance. For further guidance, see this section using the cards. So she gives these, let's see. So she's given the sacrifices of the cards. This is how she's beginning with the sacrifices. Some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't. Uh, these are in any particular order. All right, I have to figure out the order. I'm already getting frustrated. Oh, here. 20, 21. Okay. Where is zero? Okay. 11, 9, oh, 8, 9. Here's zero. Okay. I forgot these cards were used. So let me put them in order. Oh, no, but they were sealed. That's weird. 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. This is the 21 tarot. And then there's more here. And then there's more here. So I don't know what to do with all this just yet. But we will start with the world egg. Remember, we're talking just the sacrifices. The world egg is Dambala and Aida's world egg. And the sacrifice is egg atop a mound of white cornmeal. That is literally the sacrifice to put on your altar. An egg atop a mound of white cornmeal. All right. The second one is called Dr. John. A drum, the playing of a drum. Now, I'm not explaining the cards just yet. We're going to follow the book the way she's giving it to us. Marie Laveau, salt water. Azon. Azon is the goddess of commerce. Palm fringe. Oh, yeah, she loves palms. And mountain rocks. Loco. Green herbs. They don't say what kind, they just say green herbs. Master of the head. Or in Africa, it would be the Ori. Master of the head. Burn a bit of your hair. Has anyone ever burned their hair in magic? I have. I even cut my locks off and I saved all of them that he cut off. And for some reason, he knew to give it to me. He didn't let it drop on the floor. Child, you know Caribbeans know things. All right. I don't know how long I've been on because I'm not watching the clock. But, oh, I'm almost at an hour. So I'll get to 60 minutes. Marasa. Candy. She likes sweets and she likes grilled corn. I'm excited to know all of these gods and goddesses and loas. Dance. Sweat. Produced by dancing. That's the sacrifice. Oh, I could do that. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right. This is called Kuchi. Frayed palm leaves. Interesting. Oh, wait. This is... I think I messed something up. This is Kuchi. This is Kuchi, frayed palm leaves. Hmm. 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, possession. Skin oils from the back of your neck. This is where the spirits enter and leave. Now, there's a little bit of belief system in that. Even in the Pentecostal church, when you pray and you bend your head, prayer is received at the back of your neck. So here they're saying skin oils from the back of your neck. This is where the spirits enter and leave. Possession. And lastly, the market. Produce found on the street of a market or discarded produce from a market Purchase produce if discarded or found material is not available, but it has to be at a market. It's very important. All right. So we have something called agriculture every Saturday. And so it's important to go to the market. Now, I would think the market would include one of those Chinese stands. Do you know what I'm talking about? We have them in California where they sell flowers and this type of fruit and that type of fruit. And you go in the store and it's not a supermarket, but most of the produce is outside. All right, I am going to stop here, and it's perfect to stop here because I don't want to get overwhelmed. I don't want you to get overwhelmed, and we will figure out all of this. Are you with me? Thank you. Thank you for being with me. I just want to turn this a different way so that I know where to begin. Next week. Hi, Nancy. Hi, sweetie. Hi, Jenny G. Hi, Keisha. Aw. Is Ada your mom, Keisha? Just making sure. All right, everyone. I'm going to get up out of here. Not sure if this was useful, but let's give each other grace. Let's just learn something new, especially if it's a little uncomfortable. Bye, guys. Call me for your own personal. Hi, Stephen. Call me for your own personal reading, 213-458-7408. Keep me posted and write in the comment section something that I might have left out or something that you're interested, or just comment. Love you guys. Take it easy. Bye.
In the heart of the city, there's a lady so divine, with a gift so rare she can read between the lines, unlocking mysteries. She's the one we all admire. With a touch of magic, she sets our souls on fire. From psychic readings to rosemary oil so pure, her spirit shines bright. Of that I am sure. On TV she graces the screen with grace. Her presence is a blessing in every time and place. Pop culture psychic, in tune with the stars. She sees beyond the veil, even beyond Mars. And when the night falls, Tracy after dark, her wisdom illuminates like a powerful spark. So if you seek guidance, look no further than her door. Tracy Brown live where wisdom does soar. Through the realms of the unseen, she'll light your way. With every word she speaks, darkness turns to day. Tracy Brown live, the beacon of light, guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody, so pure and strong. In her presence, we know we belong. From psychic readings to rosemary oil so pure, her spirit shines bright. Of that I am sure. On TV, she graces the screen with grace. Her presence is a blessing in every time and place. Pop culture psychic, in tune with the stars. She sees beyond the veil, even beyond Mars. And when the night falls, Tracy after dark, her wisdom illuminates like a powerful spark. So if you seek guidance, look no further than her door. Tracy Brown live where wisdom does soar. Through the realms of the unseen, she'll light your way. With every word she speaks, darkness turns to day. Tracy Brown live. guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody so pure and strong. In her presence we know we belong.